3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, everybody. Two favorite boys from the podcast from Saturdays to Sunday. I'm Kale.
I'm Cam.
And today we got a good one, man. It is a really fun one. Cam, it's a college episode, and Cam has done his due diligence. He has done a bunch of rankings. He's ranked players and positions, and he's going to express to me how he feels about everyone, and it's going to be good, man, honestly.
It's going to be a lot. We're just going to say that. As you can see,
Yeah.
I'm wearing Justin Herbert right now because today we're going to talk about quarterbacks. And I'm not going to lie, this was a
Quarterbacks.
This was tough. This was really tough. So I ended up breaking it down into a couple categories because there's a lot of guys I like. I actually think it's going to be an exciting year for quarterback play. But I got a lot here.
Yeah.
I got a lot. I'm gonna have to explain myself. I'm gonna give you some hear me outs probably throughout this because, you know, after I made my list, I went through to see what others did, and I don't know if I'm far off or they're far off. That's what we're gonna be able to see.
Or maybe you're right.
But that's what we're gonna see this upcoming season, like where these other analysts, YouTubers, all them, were they on point or was I on point? But with that said, we're gonna kick
on point.
We're gonna kick it off with a group of 6 quarterbacks. I call it group of 6 because I think the Pac-12 fits in there now. We're going to start off with that.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, if you stick around, you'll find out who my top quarterback in the country is. And it might be a little bit of a surprise to some people. So I'm really excited for that. But to start off with group of 6, we start with some honorable mentions. So out of the top 10, I have 4 honorable mentions. First one, Jack Lane, the quarterback from New Mexico. He had a solid season last year. He was at Idaho before that, has a couple solid seasons there. There is talk that there's a bit of a quarterback battle going on right there, but I think it's Jack Lane's team. I think he'll be good for New Mexico. Just want to throw him on there as an honorable mention. Aaron Allen from Ohio State to Memphis. Obviously, he's a high recruit. Not a lot of play time, not a lot of tape, but could be special. Memphis is known for kind of, having the high-powered offense. So I think he could have an exciting season. I do have Jackson Arnold as an honorable mention. Obviously, rough couple seasons, but UNLV. Why that last chance? Even Anthony Calandria did well there last year. He's gone again, but he did well there last year. So maybe Jackson Arnold can kind of have fun. We've seen it before with quarterbacks transferring lower. They kind of start having fun. And then Caden Velkamp, I liked him in Western Kentucky. He won me some money on some bets, especially in the bowl season 2 years ago. He's been at FAU. This dude turns the ball over a ton. So if he can stop that, I think he could be good for FAU. Well, that's it. But now we're going to get to the actual top 10. And I'm pretty confident with my ranking here. We're going to start off number 10.
10 and below, right?
Yeah, we're going to start at 10.
Right.
We're going to start 10. Michael Van Buren. He's the South Florida quarterback. He was at LSU and Oklahoma before. 2000, or no, sorry. I think Oklahoma. Yeah. 2,869 yards, 19 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 6 rush touchdowns in his career. He's never been a full starter. I think he's an athlete, so I think he could be exciting. We saw Byron Brown did it in South Florida. He's under Brian Hartline. So I have him number 10, kind of, again, one of those unproven commodities, but, going a level lower, I think he could be fun. Number 9, I got Caden Samanza. He actually transferred from Ball State to Tulane. 3-9 record last year at Ball State. Well, he wasn't necessarily the problem. The offense around him was pretty bad. He had almost 3,000 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 picks, not the best, but 1 rush touchdown.
At Ball State?
Yeah. I think he was like an experienced guy. Now he's going to Tulane. He'll have a much better supporting cast, better coaching staff. So I'm kind of excited for him. Again, 3-9 record. You look at that on paper, that's terrible. Ball State was bad, especially in the MAC. MAC's not the hardest. But again, team around him was pretty rough. I got a guy here I'm excited for in the MAC still, Drew DeShields, Kent State. Okay. They went 5-7 last year. That's not great, but for them that is. After 0-12, 5 more wins. I liked him. He didn't start, I don't think, to start the season, but once he got going, 2,900 yards, 25 touchdowns. 2,030 yards, 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 3 rush touchdowns. I mean, it's solid. He was a first-year starter. I got bad guys on here, especially later, that I ranked high when they didn't have the best season, but they were a first-year starter. I think that's important when it comes to it. First-year starters who show flashes, you're expected to grow in the offseason, sit in a little more, get a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
So I got him at 8. Number 7.
Absolutely.
Best name, Lunch Winfield, Louisiana Lafayette. Great name.
Yeah.
He was a little bit of a baller. I mean, 6-7 record, lost their bowl game. He had 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 picks. That's not great. The 700 rush yards, 9 touchdowns. I think if he can clean up the passing game a little bit, to go along with the rushing game. And he didn't start the season either. The first couple games he wasn't starter. He kind of worked his way in. So I'm excited for him. Number 6, though, Nick Minicucci from Delaware. Also,
yeah.
another great name. I mean, he's going to be a senior. He's been at Delaware his whole career. 3,600 yards, though.
Jeez.
That's pretty good. 23 touchdowns, only 7 picks, and 10 rush touchdowns to go along with that. First
That's
year,
important.
First year in the FBS, 7-6 record, won their bowl game. He was a big reason for that. I mean, so I'm kind of excited to see what he does. Delaware in their second year in the FBS.
Yeah.
And then another
Absolutely.
guy who kind of knew the FBS team-wise, Jacksonville State quarterback, Caden Creel. I got him at 5.
That's a name right there.
This guy's
Yeah.
also interesting because he only had 1,500 pass yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 receptions, but he had 1,000 rush yards with 7 touchdowns.
Jesus, did they run the option a lot?
No, dude just scrambled. Like he was a real scrambler. I mean, they also went 9-5. They lost the conference championship and they won their bowl game. But I was looking at Jacksonville State's record. They have no running or depth chart. They have no running backs. But I don't know if they need one. They got this guy.
They got that guy.
Yeah, like usually if you look at the depth charts, I think it's on like mylads.com. They usually have even if there's not a starter, they'll have the guys behind it, but there's no one. So maybe walk-ons. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're still trying to figure out who's on the roster. Well, I don't know if you need.
Yeah.
Jacksonville State's just kind of been figuring it out as they go along. But
We're
now,
just winging it.
top 4. This one I like. I like the top 4, and 3 of these guys are in the new Pac-12, which is also kind of exciting. Or no, sorry, one's in the Mountain West. 2 are in the Pac-12. Number 4, Brad Jackson from Texas State. He's a redshirt sophomore, I believe. 3,200 yards, 21 touchdowns, 7 picks, 700 rush yards, 17 rush touchdowns.
Holy crap.
And not many people talked about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Texas
Put
State
the spotlight on him, man.
at 8-6, 1-0. They won the bowl game. And then they're moving over to the Pac-12. They're kind of an exciting team. They still got some good receivers. I think Bo Sparks is still there. That dude was like top 5 in receiving yards in the nation. So, I mean, with that guy throwing you the ball, I'm kind of excited to watch Texas State this year. I think.
Oh, yeah. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, in terms of the mid-majors, he's definitely going to be one of the, maybe the Drew Messmaker type guys that everyone's talking about. And again, when we're talking about these guys, portal. Who knows? Maybe when it comes to next year, how many times do we see quarterbacks from the mid-major? Just mentioned he just did it. So some of these guys, you might see them in a new uniform next year or after this year. So it's something to just watch. And then this next guy, he's young. He is getting a lot of hype. I will say this guy's getting a lot of hype. Michael Alejado from Hawaii.
That's the dude that I was going to bring up, too.
Yeah.
The Hawaii quarterback.
Yeah, he's getting hype, rightfully so. I mean, they had a 10-5 record, 1-0 in the bowl. No, he has a 10-5 record as a starter. He played, I think, 2 games.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think he played 2 games the year before last. 24 touchdowns, 9 picks, 1 rush touchdown last year. There was a game I watched. I think it was against San Diego State. Dude looked like he had a high ankle sprain, just limping around, but he dogged it out. That's just some of the stuff I like to see. He was dogging it out. He kind of like Bear Bachmeier. Spoiler, we'll talk about him a little bit later, but just the grit, the toughness, I think that's what rallies the team around you.
He's got that dog in him.
Got that dog in him. And I think, Hawaii lost their best receiver, Pofili Ashlock, but they've always kind of had those really fast, interesting receivers, like JoJo Ward one year. They've always had those guys, so I think he's going to actually perform well, and I'm excited for Hawaii, especially now, Boise State left the Mountain West. Hawaii could be the front runner. I mean, it's going to be probably them and UNLV, but could be the front runner.
That'll be cool, though.
And then number 2 might get some hate. I've been seeing this guy getting dogged on still.
Nah.
Maddox Madsen. He had a down year last year. He's getting dogged on. People are saying he's maybe bottom 5 or bottom 10 for the top 10. But again, he's still a 2-time Mountain West Conference champion. Yes, he had Genty, but that was 2 years ago. And he still had a decent year last year. 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 picks, 5 interceptions. That's not a bad stat line.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't turn it over 5 rush touchdowns. I mean, he only played 11 games, so he missed 1 game. He has a 21-7 record. He did lose 2 bowl games. They lost the bowl game last year to Washington, and then obviously against Penn State in the playoffs. So maybe you could argue in the big games he doesn't really get it done. But again, I think that experience is pretty big. Because like looking back last year, he had a pretty rough game against South Florida, but South Florida came out the gate, kicked them in the mouth, and surprised everybody. So
Oh yeah, week 1. I remember that.
so I don't know. I still have him up here. I think experience is a big deal. But that leads me to number 1. People talk about him. I mean, his dad. We know his dad. Owen McCown, the UTSA quarterback.
Yeah.
He's going to be a redshirt senior. This dude's been around for a while. But in 2025, he had 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 7 picks. Pretty good. His overall
Pretty good, man.
in 2 years isn't the best. 14-12 in 2 years, but 2-0 in bold. But again, that experience. I'm excited for UTSA. We're not going to cover running backs today, but one of my top 10 running backs, I think, also for the group of 6, is going to be the UTSA running back because the dude had like 900 yards, but Robert Henry Jr., who's in the NFL now, was the starter. So they have 900 yards in passing offense with the starter having over 1,000. That dude's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good,
UTSA is going to be pretty good. Just a little spoiler. We'll talk about running backs in the next episode. That's my group of 6. Is there anything? Is there a guy you think I missed?
No, honestly, I pretty much agree with it. I like the Michael Van Buren pick because because they benched Garrett Nussmeier last year, right? For him, like halfway. So I remember watching the Bama and LSU game, and he was playing, and he didn't perform bad. So I really like that pick. 10's fine. I mean, if I want to nitpick, maybe a little like lower, but like 10's good.
See, that's the thing with a lot of these rankings too. Like some of them are going to be interchangeable. Like I could see Michael Van Buren 8, pushing 7. Flipping them around, you know.
I like that you mentioned the Hawaii's quarterback, Michael Alejandro, or
it's Alejado with a J.
Michael Alejado. I like that because it's funny, when I was playing NCAA, I had a Hawaii dynasty, and it got me to like Michael Alejandro, or I'm not going to butcher his name, I'm just going to call him Michael. So I liked him where you put that. I liked where you put him too. It was good, honestly. I liked your whole list, man. No complaints. No, easy. Loved it.
That's what I love to see, and that for the people listening too, like tune into some of the group of 6 games. Like a lot of these guys are exciting. When I was living in Illinois, I was up till 1 a.m. watching Hawaii just because of Micah. It was really just because of him. Like Hawaii was fun to watch. They have like that old lore, you know. You remember the Colt Brennan nostalgia, all that.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I know, R.I.P. But like that's just like some of the stuff you got to do. Like the late night games. There's probably gonna be a lot of late night Pac-12 games with some of these quarterbacks too.
The Pack After Dark.
A lot of MAC guys in here, you know. Dark. Conference USA, they play late night week games. So I'm just putting it out there to giving these guys a little shout out. But I'm sure a lot of people
honestly love the list, man.
Yeah, thank you.
No discrepancies in the list.
I spent time on.
I know. Off the pod, guys, Cam was going to town on this. He had like a whole week's worth of notes, which I appreciate, honestly.
It was a lot of fun because for me, like, I've done receiving rankings all the time. Like, I love wide receivers. I think I have a better sense of picking out, you know, certain receivers. Like, I've bragged about myself before for drafting Puka Nacua in Dynasty, in a Dynasty league when no one else did, stuff like that. But quarterbacks was tough. I really had to put, like, my analytical cap on. But also use a lot of gut feeling because I don't know necessarily the mechanics behind the quarterback position. You know, I don't know like footwork, stuff like that. I never played quarterback. So I was like just watching that stuff. Like a lot of it had to go off feeling. But I think a lot of people want to know about is the Power 4 quarterbacks. There's a lot. I got a lot on this list. A lot I couldn't decide on. So I made some groupings. So we're going to start
groupings
with an interesting. I wouldn't count these as honorable mentions. These are guys that I think have talent, but they underwhelm.
Okay, so they underperform?
Yeah, and I want to mention them because I want to avoid the, where's this guy? Where's that guy? Where's insert my team's guy, you know? Because these are big names, and it might be surprising for some of them that I have in here. But the first one we'll start with, John Mateer.
John Mateer?
Yeah, he's still getting talked about, still gets some hype. I think he had a pretty bad season last year. You know, like he was dealing with injuries, especially in like I think it was the Bama game. He was dealing with injuries. He wasn't full go. But 14 touchdowns, 11 picks in 12 games. That's rough. And I get it. You know, it's a big jump from Washington State to Oklahoma. I had higher expectations for him. I'm sure a lot of people did.
He was in the Heisman. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Exactly. Like in the preseason, like the preseason hype was there. Like he was there. Yeah. Everyone was talking about him. He has talent, but he completely underwhelmed last season. So I hope he gets it back on track for what we saw at Washington State. You know, I mean, Cam Ward was able to do it, jump from Washington State to Miami, play well in those big games. So I'm looking forward to John Mateer. I'm going to be a little cynical until I see something, especially in the bigger games. Because, again, he shows flashes. He's an athlete.
It's prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it.
He's still an athlete. So I got him. This other one, again, the hype was there. You and I were hyped. Lenore Sellers.
Fuck yeah. I was, yeah.
We were hyped. I mean,
yeah.
It's not the worst. You know, 13 touchdowns, 8 picks. He played well against Bama. I don't want to always just talk about Bama, but he did play well against Bama. We know
that's where he always leaves his mark is the Bama games for some reason.
We know the talent's there, dude. Like, he's a freak athlete. Yeah. It's just something's not clicking. And I don't know what else we can blame it on. Like, they have good receivers. They had a decent running game. I don't know. You know, like, and if anything, this next year is going to be tougher. They lost a lot of the defense, a lot of the stars, I would say. You saw Dylan Stewart, but also on the offense, they didn't make any huge jumps in the portal. So I don't.
You got Nick Harbor, but I mean, we'll see.
It's not going to get any easier for him. So that's why I have him in the underwhelming.
The SEC is hard.
That's why I have him in the underwhelming. Another SEC quarterback. We're just going to get the SEC quarterbacks out of the way, all right? Marcel Reed. This
really
might be an interesting take because we talked about him a lot. We hyped him up. I hyped him up.
I like Marcel.
I like Marcel. The only reason I put him on here because his stat line's pretty good. The only reason I put him on here is because those 2 games last year when it really mattered versus Texas and Miami, 0 touchdowns, 4 picks, just did not look like he was comfortable in the pocket. Like, he looked flustered. So I got to put him on here, you know, because like he did well. And like the rest of the season, like 25 touchdowns, 3,100 yards, 12 picks. But again, 4 of those came against 2 great defenses. 500 rush yards, 6 touchdowns. Like, he's a runner. But dude, those 2 games, they're burnt into my memory. And that's I put it in.
Yeah. The Texas game was a little bit of a I honestly get it. It upsets me, but it's also realistic because like you and I both love Marcel, but like speaking unbiased, it makes sense of why you put him here. And honestly, I can't even defend it or argue it because like I agree with you. Because it makes sense. It was like big games, he needs to step up.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me because again, really like him. So that was a tough one. Another tough one that you and I liked, we bought the hype last year, was Avery Johnson.
Oh, God.
I had to put him in the underwhelming category. Again, a lot of bad stat line. You know, 2,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 500 rush yards, 8 touchdowns. It's a good stat line. We know the talent's there. Back to the title. Talent's there, but underwhelmed. But the accuracy struggles, especially versus some of the ranked teams. Like, I was going back to the game log. I was watching some stuff. The accuracy struggles were pretty rough. Like, I can't even lie. It was kind of hard to watch. So I have him here. And again, it's not going to get much better. New head coach. It is Colin Klein, former quarterback. So maybe he can be a little bit of a guru. Maybe he can help him out a little bit. But, you know, offensive-wise, he lost Chase Brown, his top target. Dylan Edwards wasn't really a factor for them last year. But so they still have Joe Jackson. And he's good. He's also a great running back. We're going to talk about him in the running back episode. But yeah, it's a tough one, dude. The talent's there.
Yeah, I like Avery Johnson, but again, it's really pissing me off because I want to debate you, and maybe we'll get to a debate later in the episode. But it's like I agree with you again because watching Kansas State was pitiful last year, and again, you and I, to your point, had a lot of hype for Kansas State and Avery Johnson as a whole.
Yep, yeah, I know. See, that one was tough, man. But I'll stop focusing on the negatives. We're gonna move into some sleepers. There might be I might have a sleeper in here. There's one I know you really like. You might disagree with him being a sleeper. You talked about him. Not a lot of other people talk about him. So
me?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw him. I've seen him in some rankings. I think he lands maybe like number 16. So he's not too far off. This sleeper section is basically honorable mentions.
Is it my Pookie from Arizona?
It is Noah Fafita.
Yeah.
I do have him in the sleeper section. I love what he did. Like, I think he had a great bounce back, and you called it last year because he cut his interceptions in half from 12 to 6. He had 29 passing touchdowns. I think he's only here because going into the next season, his supporting cast. Like, there's some guys I have later on that are mainly there because of the supporting cast, you know, but Noah Fafita doesn't really have that. So I think there's a lot going against him in a way. Well, again, the experience, he's loyal, he's stuck around Arizona. I think he'll be a sleeper in the sense of like, people will start realizing maybe week 4 or 5, oh, this guy's kind of balling. This guy's got a good stat line. Like, is he gonna be in the Heisman running? Probably not. But like, oh, this guy's good. He could be a good late round pick next year in the NFL draft. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But that's the one.
I like the pick, honestly. And again, we both glazed Fafita, and to your point again, like I was saying, like, everybody watched for Fafita this past year of like surprise like blow ups.
Yeah.
And again, like, so people need to tune into Arizona more, honestly.
Yeah, dude, you called that one. Another sleeper, I know it's a guy we both like. Same exact argument for why I put him here is the supporting cast around him, and that's CJ Bailey. Like, he's gonna have to do it all.
God, I love CJ Bailey.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do it all himself next year, though. Again, lost his receiver.
Yeah, no Hollywood left.
Running back, lost his tight end. Justin Jolly, great tight end. So yeah, he's gonna literally have to be a one-man show. He had 2 bad games, but it was against Notre Dame and Miami. You know, like, do we be a little better? But again, Miami's defense, we saw what they did, especially in the playoffs. Like, that one, I don't really look at. The Notre Dame one, you know, it could go either way. They had a good defense. I wish he would have been a little better, but he was great versus ranked Georgia Tech. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he did show flashes there, had a good stat line. So I like him. I think, he's only a sleeper in the sense, like, he's going to have to do it all himself, which is...
Yeah, man, honestly.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah. All
right. This guy, I don't know. I've seen him in some top 15, top 10 rankings. I put him in a sleeper. It's Kevin Jennings.
What you got?
It's Kevin Jennings.
Kevin Jennings at SMU?
It's only because, once again, the big games are burned into my memory.
Yep, the Penn State game of the playoffs 2 years ago.
Last year in the bowl game versus Arizona. They still won, but he had no touchdowns and 3 picks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
that's hard to argue.
He has too many turnovers. He has 26. He had 26 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Jesus Christ,
he just had too many turnovers, but he was good in 2024 against ranked Pitt, Clemson, and Louisville, all ranked teams. But then, you know, the Penn State one we just mentioned, that one came up. So he was good. He shows flashes.
Yep.
He's an athlete. I want him to do good. But again, I just had to throw him in my sleeper category.
Makes sense. Again, I agree with you. I truly do.
All right.
I can't even argue.
2 more sleepers.
Yeah, lay it on me.
Colton Joseph. I've talked about him. I wanted Illinois to get him when he entered
the Wisconsin. Yeah,
the Old Dominion guy.
Motherfucker.
Yeah,
yep.
So he's an experienced guy. His stat line, I think, is great. 2,600 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 picks, 1,000 rush yards, 13 touchdowns.
Oh,
he's an athlete. He had a very
to have him.
Easy Sun Belt schedule. That's, again, kind of why I have him in the sleeper category. But against Indiana, he did run for 179 and 2 touchdowns against Indiana.
Damn, that's impressive, honestly.
0 passing touchdowns, 3 picks. So again, he's like,
well, that
you know,
that balances out each other.
He reminds me of Devin Dampier when he went from Mexico to Utah, because that dude had 12 touchdowns, 12 picks, but he had great rushing stats, like 19 rushing touchdowns, 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of like he's there. It's just which one are you going to get? Are you going to get the great runner? Or are you going to get the good passer? You know?
Yeah,
I don't know if I've seen
you never know what you're going to get.
I don't know if I've seen both click. So I have him there. I'm so excited for him. Alonzo Barnett from JMU to UCF, 2-year starter. You know, good stat line, good rush. He can run. He looked solid versus Oregon. He did, I think, have a fumble or 2, but he had 2 touchdowns, not the 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. Not the best accuracy, but Oregon's defense is pretty solid, and he looked good. He led his team to the playoffs. So I'm excited to see, you know, Scott Frost, second tenure, year 2 at UCF, didn't have the best year last year. Maybe he could do good. Let me open a window real quick. It's light in here.
Getting a little dark in there, buddy?
Yeah, some went away. But yeah, so I got him. And yeah, honestly, that wraps up the sleepers.
Okay. Honestly, I agree with them, dude. It's commendable. I don't have any arguments. Again, I wish I had an argument.
You're gonna get to some arguments when you see the top 10.
I'm sure. I can't wait.
You're gonna get to some
but
arguments.
Just talking about the sleepers as a whole, like, you did good. You analytics and unbiased. I mean, good job, man. That was awesome.
Thanks, bro. Thank you. Well,
yeah.
So there's some young guys I like. I put in a section here.
Okay.
Young guys I like.
Yep.
Some of them I've seen argued being in the top 10 or top 15.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree yet. I think maybe after this year, we're talking about him potentially being top 10.
Like true freshman.
True freshman. I got one guy in here who's not young, so I'll just start with him. And we just talked about him, Devin Dampierre. He's not young. He's only a 2-year starter, though. I think he's a great athlete, just questionable accuracy. He did cut down on his turnovers. I've seen him. People are putting him in top 15, top 10. I can kind of see it. I'm just not there yet with him.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Again, he's more of the gut feeling type. Like, I've seen him ball out, but I've also seen, like, what are you doing? What is this? You know, especially with the accuracy stuff. He is a smaller guy. You know, like, that's kind of already going against him. We kind of saw that with Pavia in this draft, but he had decent accuracy. So I think that's like what that's a part of his game he needs to clean up. It's just that part, and then I think he'll be good. But some of the other younger guys, JKS, obviously, from Cal. Really, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but really excited to see him. I think he had a good stat line, only 18 touchdowns, 9 picks. That part's not good, but 3,400 yards. He balled out to upset both ranked SMU and Louisville. And then 2, he has a new coach from Oregon, and transfer additions I really like. Chase Hendricks from Ohio, Cooper Perry, who's kind of on the depth chart at Oregon. He's a wide receiver, kind of speedy guy. But Ian Strong from Rutgers, that 6'4" true outside guy. So, like, I think if anything, they just made his surrounding cast a little better. The run game, questionable, but Cal also didn't really have a run game last year. And he can get it done on the ground if he needs to. I think he's more of a pocket passer, but I'm really excited for him, especially just with the whole, like, atmosphere around Cal. I think it'll be fun to watch some Cal football next year. We talked about Malik Washington from Maryland. Same type of thing. They added a good Wyoming receiver, Chris Durr, in the portal. A lot of guys stayed. Remember, there's all that talk about him, some of the defensive guys. They're getting some good recruits. So, again, I think he's maybe, like, he can turn Maryland into kind of that sleeper Big Ten team. Are they going to push for the conference championship? No. But can they maybe, like, can they scare Michigan? Can they scare Ohio State? Maybe can they scare some of these other teams? Like, and even if they don't play these other big teams, can it maybe be like, oh, we can't lose now because Maryland's kind of cooking? You know what I'm saying? So I like him. Kamario Taylor from Mississippi State, I'm overly excited for. I was wrong last year with Austin Simmons. That's why he didn't make my list, because I'm still mad at him, because I was really hyped up about him from a small sample size of 2 drives versus Georgia. That's my bad. Kamario Taylor, though, I'm excited for that game versus Ole Miss. That was the game he started, and I think he went off. So he's only started 2 games, and he has 600 pass yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, 500 rush yards, and 8 touchdowns from starting 2 games.
Jesus.
And he's a young guy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Is Mississippi State?
Mississippi State?
Yeah. He's going to be their guy. So I'm excited for him. I mean, again, very small sample size. We don't necessarily know 100% what we're getting, but, you know, I'm putting some faith in him.
Let's put the hype out there. Let's let everybody know.
Try to get some hype out there. Again, I've messed up with this in the past where I see one game and they go off. Like, I did that with Avery Johnson. His first start against Texas Tech when he ran for 5 touchdowns. I've done it before. Avery Johnson kind of got there, but then went down. So whatever. I got him on here. This one, I've also seen a lot of people top 20 minimum. And again, he could be top 20 right now. I'm just putting him in a young guy like Bear Bachmeier. I love Bear Bachmeier. I think he's great. We talked about him a little bit earlier with that grit. I think he'll make a jump in year 2. Again, being a first-year starter, he was not expected to be a starter. We all know what happened with Jake Retzlaff and all that off-the-field stuff. But he jumped in.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 touchdowns, 7 picks. Not the best passing stat line, but he's great on the ground. He kind of, like, I don't know. I think he's going to be good. I think next year we're going to be talking about him potentially being a top 10 quarterback. I just wasn't ready to put him in the top 10 with some of the other guys I got right now.
Makes sense.
But very excited for him. That's it for the young guys. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. So I'll kind of fly through that are top 10 material.
Okay, like honorable mentions.
This is where I struggled, and then I have a legit top 5.
Top 10.
So I kind of,
okay, wait, hold on.
So I don't have a top 10. I have a top 5 because I was struggling.
Okay.
But I have 9 guys that I think are top 10 material.
Okay, I understand now.
Yeah, because I was struggling.
Yeah.
Dude. Sorry off, Drew Messamaker.
Okay.
Top 10 material. Insane stat line last year. He's following his coach. Most of the team's with him. But he had 2 3 interception games, and that was versus 2 ranked teams at the time, South Florida and Tulane. The only 2 ranked teams
Yep.
played. I was just looking at that. I kind of didn't like to see that. So I'm curious to see how he does now, because they're going to play ranked teams. There's going to be ranked teams on your Big 12 schedule. You play Oregon week 3. It's at home. That's going for you. But so I'm excited to see, curious and excited to see what he does against some ranked teams. So again, top 10 material, but I think he's like one of those guys where it's probably going to be high ceiling, low floor. Like he's not going to be mid. He's either going to be amazing. He's like Jameis Winston. He's going to be amazing with the touchdowns, but those picks, they're going to be right there too.
He's going to be 30 for 30.
Yeah, I don't want that. Because he only had 9
That's
interceptions last year, but 6 coming against your only 2 ranked teams. You know, a pretty easy American schedule. So I got him there. Sam Levitt, he only played 7 games last year. One of those games was upsetting Texas Tech, a playoff team, with a good defense. So I like that. 10 touchdowns, 3 picks, 5 rushing touchdowns. A little bit of accuracy concerns. But, you know, we've seen the Arizona State to LSU pipelines under different circumstances now, different coaches, but we've seen it, you know, and he'll have great receivers around him. So I like him as a top 10 material. Damon Williams from Washington.
Yep,
The field stuff, off-season stuff aside, I think they're fine now, you know, with him wanting to leave and the contract dispute and them saying, no, you're not leaving. I kind of watched the spring game. I don't think he looks like he's forced to be there. He looks like he's having fun still. He had a really good stat line, closed the season with a great game against Boise State. He struggled a little bit versus Ohio State, but against Ohio State, Oregon, couple picks, still threw 3 touchdowns. You know, so I think like he showed flashes. Like even that Ohio State game, both offenses struggled. You know, that was just like for the first half, that was a struggle game for both offenses. He just couldn't really pick it up after that. Byron Brown. I think he's top 10
My
material.
other kookie.
I think he's top 10 material. Obviously, great stat line. I'm just, again, it's kind of like the unknown. He had his team close to the playoffs. He had a little bit of struggles versus Miami, not a ton, but again, the rest of the schedule is pretty light. So I'm just curious to see how it transfers to Power 4. You know, I didn't really want to make a guess on him being the 8th best quarterback. Like, he could be. I'm just going to be excited. You know, I'm excited to see, excited to watch him. I have no animosity towards him. Don't really like Alex Scolish right now, but I want Byron Brown to succeed.
Yeah.
Auburn. I know it's obviously Auburn. We've been burned in the past, you know, with their quarterbacks. Like Peyton Thorne from Michigan State had a little bit of hype. Bo Nix obviously fell off. Saw what happened with Jackson Arnold. So who knows? Maybe Auburn's cursed, but they have a new coaching staff. He has a lot of his guys with him from South Florida.
It's good they're cursed.
I got faith. And then this guy.
All right.
I really wanted to put him in the top 10. I'm really high on him. I don't see a lot of other people high on him. Connor Weigman from Houston. I think they're going to have a great season. I think the Big 12 has been flipped every year. It's like every year the Big 12 has been flipped. I think they're going to be one of the teams to watch in the Big 12. He had a solid stat line, 2,700 pass yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 picks, 700 rush yards, and 11 touchdowns. People don't really think of him as a runner, but the dude's a runner. He was hurt versus Tech. So if you go look at the stat line there, it's nothing great. But he did upset Arizona State and 4 passing touchdowns against LSU to end it in the bowl game. Like, he balled out in the bowl game. He had 3 games above 100 rush yards, and he really, I think, hit his stride in the second part of the year, which is really exciting because that's usually what you look forward to with quarterbacks and, honestly, teams, how they ended the year, because that momentum can kind of carry into the next year, you know? So I got him. I got him there. I'm really excited for him. And then the one other one, Jaden Maiava. A lot of people are putting him in the top 10. I couldn't. I can see it. But what more does he need? What more does he need at USC, bro? Like, one of the guys I saw talking about him was like, he's going to have a great cast around him, great weapons. He's had that. He's literally had that. He had the Biletnikoff winner. He had Mekhi Lemon. He's had that. So I just don't know what else he needs. I mean, he played all right versus Oregon. He looked good versus Illinois and Michigan. He did have 2 interceptions, 1 against each of them. Good versus Iowa. So he's good against some of these harder defenses. It's just the turnovers a little bit, 10 interceptions. That kind of pushes me back from making him a top 10 quarterback. But I do have a top 10 quarterback later. So, but that's a biased pick. It's going to be Dante Moore. He's in there. But either way, I couldn't put him in the top 10.
So my thing with Jaden Maiava was it's literally it flipped back and forth a couple days ago. So I was really high on him, I was like, yeah, he's like a top 3 quarterback for me. And then I did a little bit of research, and I was like, to your point that you said, it's like, you know, he had a Blitnikoff, and I'm not going to repeat myself of what you just said, but like, I definitely thought the same way, literally, as you just did, saying it out loud. I was like, what more does he need?
Yeah.
He's at a blue chip school. He doesn't like you had the best receiver in college. What do you need now? Like,
elite.
it's just excuse.
Yeah, because he's good.
So now it's time to prove it.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback, but I'm thinking elite. You know, like
you need to like step up. You as a quarterback, you need to step up.
100%. So yeah, that's how I feel. And then honestly, too, I'm throwing another curveball at you. Let's just do top 8 because these next 3 guys I got lined up here, I'm okay with putting them 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
So number 8, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Number 8, and this was one that was hard for me. I'm doing it for other reasons besides him as a player. Is Josh Hoover from TCU to Indiana. I think he's going to be number 8 because of where he went. I didn't love putting it here. I mean, he didn't have the worst stat line. He had 3,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, 13 picks. He's very experienced. Maybe just needs to cut down the turnovers. My main reasoning here is maybe Kurt Cignetti's a guru because Josh Hoover at TCU is more established, experienced, better quarterback than Fernando was at Cal prior to coming to Indiana, if that makes sense. He turned Fernando, because Fernando in Indiana was a 6-6 team, kind of like Josh Hoover in TCU, but his stat lines, he was like 16 touchdowns, maybe like 9 picks. Like, it wasn't the best stat line, you know, but he turned it and pushed him to his full potential. What if he can do that with Josh Hoover? Then he's easily going to be a top 10 quarterback. It's just history.
So I see your point, and this is where I'm actually, if depending on your list, but I'll argue right now, I would flip Maava and Hoover.
Okay, that's fair.
At the moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love everything you said. Honestly, I agree with it.
Didn't love doing
And
this.
like the quarterback guru shit is amazing talking points because Kurt Cignetti, yes, he is one. But Josh Hoover as a quarterback, him as a whole, he scares me.
Also burned into my mind is the game versus Arizona State where he just it was just a struggle. Arizona State doesn't have the worst defense, but they also don't have a stellar defensive unit last year. So, you know, that's what in the back of my mind as I was doing this. That's like one of those like good guesses, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like a good guess. Like if you're gonna put a guy in the top 10 that wasn't even near it last year, that's the guess, you know?
Yeah, and it's a good guess, honestly, and I respect it. But again, this is where I'll debate you. I just flip them.
That's fair.
Like, honestly, I don't really have an argument to him, but that's just my list. Like, Maava at 8, and then right above it at 10 would be Hoover.
A lot of this, was the gut. I don't think you're going to like my next pick. So hear me out.
It's number 7?
Yeah, so hear me out.
All right, I'm putting these notes just in case I don't agree with some shit.
Because I did some more research on him. You and I were kind of wrong with flipping our thinking in the past, specifically for Carson Beck. Once we kind of looked more into the other stuff, like the drops, the game line, like how it wasn't actually that bad at Georgia. Gunnar Stockton, hear me out. Not the craziest stat line, but you know the Georgia offense is just that little screen game, run game. But he still put up, he still put up 24 touchdowns, 5 picks. 462 rush yards, 10 touchdowns on the ground, so 34 total touchdowns. He was actually, because again, I'm like, maybe this was just me not seeing it right last year. He was actually good in big games. Like, I don't know where I was thinking last year when I was watching some of the big Georgia games, because I went back and looked. Like, Tennessee, I do remember that one. Like, he balled out against Tennessee, that overtime game. You know, 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rush touchdown. But the first Ole Miss game, 289 in the air, 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, no turnovers. Texas, 35-10 beatdown. You know, like the accuracy right here is great. Like he's maybe had 5 incompletions a game, 4 touchdowns, did have a pick, but also a rushing touchdown. The first Alabama game wasn't great, and then the Georgia Tech game in the air wasn't great. He was good on the ground. But then the Alabama SEC championship game, very clean game, 20 for 26, 156, 3 touchdowns. And then even in the Ole Miss loss, 203, 1 touchdown, 2 rushing touchdown. So the more I looked at him, he might be a system quarterback. But if we're just talking college football, not even thinking about the NFL and the transfer to the NFL, we saw what Stetson Bennett did. Like, that's why I put Gunnar Stockton in the top 10. Like, he's a little bit better, I think, than Stetson in terms of like the consistency. And I think that's a big piece that you don't see it on all these quarterbacks, like some of the ones I'll talk about later. There's some inconsistency there, but Gunnar Stockton, surprisingly, when I was looking through everything, was actually super fucking consistent. It surprised me. So I have him a 7.
So I actually agree with you with this choice. Respectfully, I guess the only thing that was annoying, and this may be a little bit of animosity towards Georgia, is the fucking offense is so boring.
The game plan.
And it's like watching paint dry.
Dude,
it's like these dink and dunk 2-3 runs mixed with a 4-yard curl route. And it's like, I'm watching it and I'm just getting angry.
That might be.
But like, again, that's the fan in me kicking in. But to your point of like speaking analytically and looking at his progression of being a good quarterback, like I get why he's at 7. It makes sense, honestly.
I think
so. I'm gonna change it.
Yeah, I think what you just said perfectly hits what I was feeling. Is maybe that's like we just watched it, but then you hear announcers talk about all the time. You want a guy that'll take your checkdowns, like especially too when it comes to like a quarterback like that the coaches love. Is that guy? Is Gunnar. Like he's a quarterback that coaches love. Like fans maybe not, because it's not necessarily the most exciting stuff 24/7. But like he's the guy. He's consistent. You put him out there on a game-winning drive, he can do it with his legs. He can take those checkdowns, the smart ones, near the sideline, stuff like that. Like he's a smart quarterback. I'm gonna say I was a little bit wrong on my outlook on him last year because of that annoyance issue that we just talked about. So I like that. I think that's a really good point. Kind of shadowed like when I was watching last year.
Yeah, and like honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm not gonna do the same shit if I'm watching Georgia. I'm going to. So I'll just call myself out. I'll be like, you're a fucking boring team. You keep pissing me off, like XYZ. So I'll be man enough to call myself out on that aspect. Maybe they'll actually be really good and he'll win the fucking Heisman. I don't know.
Who knows? They lost some offensive studs, but they can reload. I like their running backs, Nate Frazier and Chauncey Ballins together. I think they're gonna be a great little duo.
Yeah.
So I got him at 7. Number 6. Okay. I think you like him. I think you like CJ Carr. All right.
I love CJ Carr.
Yeah.
Love
okay.
CJ
So
Carr. I'm actually really excited to watch Notre Dame.
Yeah. So like again, nothing's gonna blow you away with his stat line. But again, he was a first-year starter. I think that's big. He did show flashes in the Notre Dame and the Miami and Texas A&M games. He showed flashes. Obviously struggled. They lost, but those are like his first 2 big games, first 2 games ever almost. So like that's tough. It's a tough ask. And then the 2 5-stars from Ohio State. Great supporting cast. I think Jaden Greathouse is still a good wide receiver. I think they still have 5 as receivers. So he's got weapons. So if anything, he's got more weapons now.
They got the 2 wideouts from Ohio State too that transferred.
Yeah. Those 2 guys. So
honestly,
I think I wasn't mad putting him in the top 10. I mean, at first, again, before I started doing some diving, I was like, oh, I don't want to put CJ Carr in the top 10 Notre Dame quarterback. But I actually like it. I'm comfortable with it. So I'll probably start getting some hate now.
I like it.
You ready for some hate?
Wait, what?
Some hate now
For the next one?
for number 5.
Yeah.
Birch.
No, I like it. I was waiting for that because if you were going to put him too high, I was actually going to debate the shit out of you. I think that's a perfect ranking. Honestly, you could have moved him to 6 and CJ Carr to 5.
That part's a little interchangeable, I would say, because I'm still.
No, I think that's perfect.
I like that. I mean, I like it. So I did a little bit more diving in, and we talked about this with Carson Beck. The wide receiver tight end core had 20 drops for Texas last year. There's a solid minute and a half highlight video out there of just drop passes. And that's when I started to feel a little bit foreign. I was like, ugh, like 22 is not the end of the world. That's not going to make or break. Like
Well, what about the Mickey Mouse schedule that Texas has had the past 3 years?
They have had a pretty iffy schedule, and he did struggle versus Ohio State in the very first game. But he was great versus Vanderbilt and versus Michigan, who Michigan kind of turned it on at the end of the season, especially defensively. So I mean, with the schedule, we went back and we talked about before with like the expectations of being too high. Because 26 touchdowns, 7 picks, 400 rush yards, 10 touchdowns, 36 touchdowns, and 7 turnovers. That's not bad.
That's pretty good, man.
But again,
that's decent.
I think we're getting like, not even just you and I, but just like the people in general. They're
the grand scheme of things.
Joe Burrow off the bat just based off his name.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I think
Joe Burrow was an enigma.
Yeah, are we waiting maybe a little longer than 99% of the population thought for him? Yes. But there's still hope.
Yeah.
There's still a chance for him to go crazy, especially with adding Cam Coleman, Rayleigh Brown from Arizona State, and Hollywood Smothers. So I think that's exciting. Because his run game, the run game was pretty minimal last year. And receiver-wise, they had some guys I didn't love it, like that Parker Livingstone, his roommate guy. He dropped a lot of the passes.
Yeah.
You know, like they might have been comfortable, but the dude just dropped a lot of passes. So I have him at 5. I think he's interchangeable for 6. I agree with you. I'm excited to see what people think about that one because I feel like it's just either two sections. It's like you and I having hope and optimism and kind of seeing the bigger picture, and then there's just straight up haters that think.
Oh yeah, there's
And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it because one of our buddies, Chris, mentioned he's like, I think I just don't like him because of his name. And I was like,
that's fair.
At least you can acknowledge your bias and where it's rooted from, you know. And I think that's what people might be. It's like kind of like that nepotism thing. But he's still a solid quarterback. And then the other thing I can think of is him flexing over Sam Houston defender. But again, it's football. I don't care what level and what team you're playing. If you guys are dogging it out and you get the best of him, do your thing. Show a little confidence. I don't care. That was overblown.
I mean, at the moment, I was annoyed, but it's like, yeah, I guess do your thing, pimp. I can't really argue.
Do I love it?
You want to start?
Yeah. Do I hate it? No. I'm just like, dude, you guys are just thinking too hard. Let the dude have fun. Let him ball. So I got him at 5. Number 4, I got Darian Menza.
Okay.
I got him at number 4.
I like it.
I got him.
I like it.
I like because even last year when I was looking at, 34 touchdowns, 6 picks, 4,000 passing yards. That's great. That's a great stat line. And he even, I was looking at it, he played well in their losses, like even against Illinois. He played well in the losses, except the UConn game. But that was a little bit of an anomaly. That was an upset. That was like he's like, okay, what's going on with that? And then, too, he's entering a great situation. He brought his number 1 target, Cooper Barcade, with him. And now he has Malachi Tony. And Mark Fletcher.
Yeah, and Mark Fletcher.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think I'm way more excited for Miami with Darian Mensah than I ever would have been with Carson Beck.
But yeah, man, I like this Miami team.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's looking nasty in a good way.
Oh
so.
yeah, 100%. And then number 3, again, you might have to hear me out a little bit. I struggled with him. He was a little lower at first, but the more I looked at it, like the first year starter part's big here because he played really well as a first year starter, as Julian's saying. 3,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, 8 picks, 77% completion. That's pretty good. I will say a bigger reason too. Like he did have 4 interceptions versus Miami, Indiana, and Michigan, like combined between there. But again, first year starter, he's gonna have good stats. It's not
his supporting staff is top tier.
Yeah,
come on,
he's gonna play well. Like, well, I'm curious to see too. Like, because in the Texas game, it wasn't anything crazy, but he got enough done to beat a ranked team in week 1. You know, in his first ever.
Yeah, even though it was extremely boring game.
Yeah, but he did enough. But I'm just, I'm excited to see like Oregon when they play Oregon. I'm excited to see what happens there. Man. I mean, it's at home, I'm pretty sure, so that's good. But like again, supporting cast around him, great. So I'm excited. Like, do I kind of get some of the vibes in terms of his passing at times, like we just talked about with Leonard Stockton? Yes, but he can also air it out. He's got a good deep ball. Like Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, like last year, if you go watch their highlights for last year, a lot of his deep balls. Like, so, I'm excited. I liked him there.
Honestly, that's commendable. The argument that I would have is unfortunately having a good supporting staff. That's why I would put him at 3. If he didn't have all of that, it might have been number 1, which is unfortunate because it's like, why do you should have a good supporting staff and still be a number 1 quarterback. Oh, yeah. That's a really stupid argument that I have, but I think it's good putting him at 3.
Yeah, no, that will definitely come into play when we talk about him 2 years from now for the NFL. That'll come into play.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, was it because of what was around him, But for now, college only, I think he's going to be a top 3 quarterback.
Yeah.
Guess who number 2 is?
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore's number 2. I got him at 2. Bit of a biased pick. You can tell from the interceptions. Wasn't great. 71.8% completion percentage. I liked. He's kind of like that Bo Nix vibe. I know we always want to talk about completion percentage, but if it's like a 58%, it's bad. You know, so he's there. He's above average, is like 66, 67. He didn't do great in his 2 games against Indiana. Those were rough. Those were bad games. I think whatever it was bad. He did great against Penn State on the road, but again, we kind of saw what Penn State turned into. Iowa, he struggled all the way up until the game-winning drive. And that's kind of like those were the flashes I like. Like when it came down to the game-winning drive and he started dotting up Malik Benson on the sideline in the rain, I was like, okay, he's got the clutch factor. Again, first-year starter. He didn't start a full season at UCLA. So, like, that jump that we've seen, again, historically speaking, too, for Oregon specifically, the jump we've seen from year 1 to year 2 is good. So, I think
linear.
I like it. And, again, he clutched up when he needed to. That's really all I got to say. It's a little bit of a gut feeling. Like, he's going to – the schedule's a slightly tougher next year because the Big Ten got a little better on the bottom end. It's slightly tougher. Again, Ohio State, they play Ohio State, they play Michigan, they play USC, Washington. That's a decently tough schedule. Yeah. So we'll see. Because last year he played great against USC and Washington, and those weren't terrible teams, you know. So who knows? I got him at 2 because I think, too, like right now, odds-wise, like he is the number 1 or number 2 for Heisman. He is the number 1 quarterback on a lot of big draft boards. So I don't think I'm way far off here. I don't think I'm super biased, but I do think I have a little bias towards it.
So it's okay to have the bias just because you're a fan, but also you're backing it up with good evidence to prove your point. So sustainable evidence.
I almost forgot another point. None of his pass catchers played more than 9 games. It was a rotating board. It was a rotating board. The Moore was hurt a couple times. Kenyon Sadiq missed a couple games. Justice Lowe, who started as like a wide receiver 5, ended up becoming a wide receiver 2 in a couple games. Like, Jesus. It's rough. The run game was really good for him to help him alleviate some of that. But wide receiver wise, like, he did not have anything close to what Julian Sain had. So
yeah, you guys were really struggling at wideouts there for a second.
A lot of injuries.
Evan Stewart too.
But now we got Evan Stewart back. So, you know, lost Sadiq obviously, but also I like Johnson, the other tight end. He played a good amount last year. So again, I think
they're hyping him up too.
It gets a little better. It can get a little better, so that's also why I have him there. So can you guess number 1? My number 1 quarterback? But I didn't see.
Why am I having a fucking brain fart right now? I actually can't. I'm drawing a say.
It's because not a lot of people have him number 1. I don't see him on like any first round draft boards, but he's my number 1 quarterback. It's Trinidad Chambers.
Fuck yeah, that's oh my god, that's mine too.
Without a doubt, he's number 1. Without a doubt. And so for you guys, I guess we should explain this at the beginning too. Kale came in blind. That's how we're going to kind of do this. And then also with the NFL rankings that Kale's going to put together, the other's going to come in blind. So we don't have any, I don't know, like biases like, oh, my list is right. You know, that type of thing. Just guys in our head that we're thinking about.
It's a surprise, basically.
Yeah. Natural conversation, natural reactions. So Kale had turned it out as well. I don't even feel like I have to necessarily defend this.
No.
Like, his stats were there in the tough situations versus tough teams. Like, they lost the Georgia game the first time. He was still balling. Like, that was back and forth. That was a quarterback battle.
Should have won it, honestly.
Yeah, that was a quarterback battle. And then, 2, I had a stat line here for all his versus ranked teams. He had a 61% completion percentage. That's maybe the only thing that's kind of a downside, but almost 2,000 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, only 1 pick, 200 rush yards, 4 rush touchdowns, 4-2 record versus some of the best teams in college football.
Well, hot damn.
Yeah. And we saw what he did.
Jesus.
We saw what he did even in the playoff loss and the playoff game versus Georgia, all the running around, the crazy plays he was making. Like, to me, Heisman-wise, dude, I think we would get a Heisman moment out of Trinidad. Like we saw
Trinidad. Oh yeah,
dude, yeah, like
100%, dude.
I think
I'm so angry that I didn't think about that because as you were talking, I was like, "Who's number 1?" And right when you said it, I was like, "Well, yeah, he's mine too."
Yeah, well, no,
like I
it's just because, dude, I swear I haven't seen him like on like maybe he's top 10 from like 5 to 10 on some people's, but I've rarely seen him top 5 on a lot of people's besides Ole Miss fans maybe. But no, he's my number 1. He's exciting. And dude, like, he's a winner. I don't care if it was D2.
Oh, yeah.
Back-to-back national championships. I don't care if it was D2. And then you come up, and in your first year in the FBS at the highest level, you almost make the natty. Like, I like it.
Honestly, if he performs how you and I think he's going to perform, that could be the #1 pick this year.
Dude, he could be the Heisman one.
Without a doubt.
I think he could.
Yeah,
I think he could legitimately because he's got the run game. You know, especially with quarterbacks, like you gotta have that run game too.
Oh yeah.
Like a little. Yeah, and then he's got Quan Lacey. Like he's like Ole Miss. I'm really excited for. Like as a whole, like just to watch a team to root for. I swear, I think they play LSU week 3 early on in the year. I want them to
drama,
smack
man.
LSU.
Yeah,
I'm not an LSU hater. I'm just a little annoyed.
Neither am I.
Kiffin, just annoyed with Kiffin.
The whole situation that happened this past winter. So
no, but dude, that's my list. That was a lot of fun to put together. Like I was struggling at times, but I just had to
you did great.
Set it down. Play some Battlefield or some NCAA, come back to
there you go, yeah.
Like, all right, now it's clicking. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I think this might be, for me, the hardest position group to, like, really nail down.
Quarterback?
Yeah, honestly.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
I struggled, like...
I'm not looking forward to I mean, I am, but I got to do my due diligence with my list and stuff like that.
It's tough, but, like...
It's tough.
I did start putting together some running backs, and I think the running back one's going to be a lot of fun, because the running back for me was a little easier to find some guys that didn't have a ton of experience or stat lines that I think are in a good situation. You know, that one for me was just clicking a little more. Because, like, honestly, I don't have many quarterbacks, if any, on here besides maybe Kamario Taylor that aren't proven in some way. So that might be the default to my list. If you want to think of one, like some other guys I didn't talk about, like Rocco Beck at Penn State, I didn't talk about. Ethan Grunkemeyer, Virginia Tech. You know, I'm not going to talk about them. Like,
all good.
They're not necessarily jumping out to me, especially in the gut feeling area. So
I'm not excited about them either.
Or freaking Ashton Daniels.
Penn State Cyclones.
Dude, Ashton Daniels going to Florida State. Like, you guys downgraded from Tommy Castellanos, and people are excited.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had, again,
I mean,
he had one good game against Arkansas.
Their Super Bowl's week 1.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, last season's just telling. They popped off against Bama, and then they took a shit. So,
so
it is what it is.
I don't know, but ton of fun. Hopefully, it's a longer episode. We had a lot to talk about. Hopefully, you guys stuck around. If not, we'll probably put some chapters in anyway. So, and some TikToks. What TikToks out there? But yeah, that's all I got, man. It was just a quarterback. Next college episode, we'll talk running backs.
So, as Cam was already hinting, just to give my 2 cents in, then we're going to nightcap this. Next week is NFL. We'll be doing the same. I'm not going to tell Cam what positions that I'm doing. It might be a little longer episode. We might have a debate. I'm shocked that Cam and I agreed almost like 95% about all this, which is shocking, but we're pretty similar in our thoughts and everything. We don't really disagree that much, but when we do, it can get a little, not nasty, but we definitely do disagree. We don't always agree, guys. But with that being said, this is probably what we're going to do for the next couple weeks, honestly, just because it's slow with college and NFL. There's not really a whole lot to talk about, so we're going to play a lot of games.
But this is
I love games
too,
rank stuff. This is fun. I really enjoyed this, honestly.
Like thinking about some of these guys we're going to be able to watch too, like in this upcoming season, a lot of them in new positions, a lot of hope.
Yeah,
that's what I live off of. So no, this excites me. I'm excited for the NFL one too.
Yeah, I got what you meant, dude. It's all good. But yeah, we hope you guys really enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, share it. It helps us in the long run. Again, as Cam said, what the hell am I talking about? TikToks, Spotify, YouTube Shorts. It's all happening. So please go enjoy it and share it, man. But yeah, this is the 2 boys from the podcast from Saturdays to Sunday. We'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.